You dirty little homewrecker. But you're the one who is cheating. This is dumb, so this going here as well. I'm laughing my ass, this is so funny to me and I don't know why. So this is a remainder of a Ida post I was about to make, but just like my friend Charlie from the Colorform City always say, our story is getting sticky. GT is actually working for me right now. I try to catch grammar mistakes due to English not being my first language and I have dyslexia. Yesterday was my ex's b-day and my grandma-in-law was hosting it. My ex Zeke 54M is basically my grandmother's adopted son and he's a longtime friend of my in-laws. So my uncle-in-law and my aunt-in-law were there and some of their kids, and a few of Zeke's friends. It was a surprise party, so when Zeke, his wife and daughters showed up, it was a surprise. It was fun. Some people were drinking, being loud, and my 4-year-old was blasting Hollaback Girls on repeat. When the party was dying down, people was chilling out and most people was drunk off their asses except for the younger generation. My boss, who is my uncle-in-law, and me, I'm pregnant as S, at the older generation was in the sitting room and my generation was in the living room, roasting each other like we always do. Well, Zeke's oldest daughter Sophie was roasting me with a lot of low blows. She was roasting me about my family and my home, which is very dark. I wasn't talking back because I was busy taking care of my drunk husband, who turns into a baby when intoxicated. Well, I was trying to get one of my cousins' attention, but he was ignoring me on purpose. I asked him to stop ignoring me, and Sophie said, I mean, your dad has been ignoring you your whole entire life, so you should be used to it by now. Everybody laughed, and I had enough. I looked at Sophie and said, keep talking, Acid, and I'm going to duck your dad again, and give him a child that's actually biologically his. Sophie is not Zeke's biological child due to her mother's infidelity, but Sophie is a good sport and laughed at my roast. Then Sophie got out to tell her dad what I said. Zeke has the same humor as his daughter, so I heard him laugh, and some people laughing. I think I was fine because it was a joke, but about 5 minutes later Zeke's wife Pepper came in, grabbed my food and drinks, and walked to the kitchen. I followed her and some of my cousins as well. I was trying to ask her what she was doing because I wasn't done eating. Pepper didn't said anything, she just walked to the kitchen and threw up my food. My Sills was asked what she was doing and Pepper snapped at me to leave me. That she'd tolerated my presence long enough, and that she would not take my disrespect. She called me a homewrecker. For the people who know, my life is telenovela. I 21F didn't had a good childhood. A lot of abuse and a lot of suicide attempts. I'm going to therapy if anyone is curious. I started selling my body at a really young age because my family was in debt and I felt like it was my fault. I felt I was doing something with my life, that I wasn't a burden for once in my life, and that I was being useful. I did a lot of sexual favors money to a point I had a website offering my services. By the age of 18 I was making so much money and I will always give 90% of the money to my mother. I had multiple jobs, so she assumed the money I gave her was from them. I met Sophie in school and we became homes. One day Sophie saw I had bruises. She thought I was being abused by my family again. She told her dad to try to help. Zeke might be a clothes designer, but he also is a therapist, and I told him that I was basically a prostitute and that some of my clients was hitting me. Zeke told me that he would keep it a secret, and he did. Eventually we availed of friendship and he started paying me to cut off the clients that were hitting me in exchange for me cleaning his house. Our friendship turned into a romantic one and Zeke became my glucose guardian. He treated me with the utmost respect. He got me new clothes, he made me close, he respected my boundaries, and he got me a dog. Eventually he'd pay me to cut off my old clients and just to focus on him. Zeke became my boyfriend for a little while, but we ended up breaking up because he got back with Pepper. They were legally separated I think about 3 years before Zeke and I got together due to, like I said above, Pepper cheating. We remained friends until I became hostile towards him, started openly hating him. I thought he was using me, but eventually I came to find out that it wasn't the case. Over Thanksgiving I apologized how I treated him and we made up. We started to become friends again. Only 3 people knew about me and Zeke at first, but my mill decided to share all my secrets. One of those secrets was Zeke, and I was a thing. Pepper started hating me and started to refer to me as the other woman in Homewrecker. To the point where she doesn't even talk to me anymore and doesn't acknowledge my presence. She even didn't go to Christmas just to avoid me. Sophie was pissed at me at first, but she got over it eventually and started making fun of me for binging her dad. Now back to the present. Pepper was calling me a homewrecker and that she wanted me to leave. My cousins-in-law was telling her to calm down, then Pepper started raising her voice. People started coming in and were confused. Zeke was trying to calm Pepper down and my boss was PSS at her for yelling at. Pepper wanted me out because what I said was disgusting and that she's sick and tired of me. Sophie was telling her mother to stop because it was a joke, but eventually Zeke told us to leave because Pepper wasn't letting up, so we left. Later I found out that Pepper destroyed glasses of Grandma's and Zeke got slapped. Some of my in-laws think what I said was funny while the others think it was too inappropriate, and other people at the party DM me told me I shouldn't have said that. One of them called me hoe. And today it got worse. Sophie called me a s-up, blocked me, and Zeke sent me a message saying that he is sorry but what I did was disgusting and a btch and that he will not tolerate me anymore. I was surprised because that is really out of character for both of them, but apparently they are tired of me. I'm not going to tell my boss what Zeke said because he is very protective of me and I don't want him to be mad. But my boss and my husband will take my side no matter what, and my grandma is conflicted about the situation, but I thought Zeke and Sophie thought that Peppers was overreacting, but I feel really bad, especially what happened after I left, and I feel like a W or now, even though Zeke was allowed to see other people back then. I really did mean it as a joke. I wasn't trying to disrespect Pepper, and I wish I could take it back because I lost Sophie. So, I got a Discord message from Zeke saying how sorry he was for not defending more and that Pepper is sorry too for how she reacted. I was like, okay, that's cool and all, but what the duck is that message you sent me earlier? He had no idea what I was talking about, so I screenshotted it to him and said, so you don't remember calling me a btch? Apparently Zeke didn't send that to me, sent that to me. I asked him where Sophia was and he said asleep. I asked him where his cell phone was and he responded with a my phone has been missing since this morning. Then he immediately followed up with an O. I see what's happening here. Give me a second. So I waited for a few minutes, then I got a call from Sophie. She asked me what the hell is going on and all I heard was her parents arguing in the background. So I asked what the hell's going on cause I didn't know. Then I started hearing things breaking in the background and Sophie hung up. I was concerned and heavily confused. I tried to call back Sophie but she didn't pick up. I went to my boss to see if he knows what the hell's going on. He tried to call Zeke but he didn't answer, so my boss decides to call one of his brothers to go check on them. So about 20 minutes later Zeke called back and said that he was on his way here. So 2 hours both Zeke and Sophie arrived. They both apologized to me and that wasn't them who said those awful things but Pepper. Then Zeke said something shocking. He told Pepper about us years ago. Apparently they were honest but who they were sleeping with, and Pepper didn't like that it was me and she would always talk acid about me to Zeke when she saw me. They would always get into a fight because Pepper wouldn't stop slandering me in private. So when the recent stuff about me and Zeke popped up again, Pepper started hating me again. She thought that Zeke and I were sleeping again. Then Zeke told us the Pepper was still ducking Lucifer. The people do not know Lucifer is my boss's oldest brother and the one who arped me. Lucifer, what the reason why Zeke and Pepper got separated in the first place is because his daughters are Lucifers. Pepper let it slip that she was still seeing him but recently stopped when she found out what he did me. We were shocked but my boss was pissed. He asked does Pepper know where Lucifer is and Zeke say that he didn't know. Now they are trying to get Pepper to give up Lucifer's location.